Hello, everybody. Welcome to another installment of the Player Spotlight series. And this one is going to be one of the favourites, I think. Pom, we're talking about Mr. Oliver, Clayton.
What a player as well. The guy needs no introduction. He's been consistently top five since he's been drafted in the AFL, since coming into the system in 2015. Huge numbers, and we're hearing about a big fish being the third signing, and no one fits the bill probably better than Clayton Oliver. What an absolute beast of a footballer he is.
Why is his name coming up? Because, I mean, look, every year there's always the big fish, particularly when it comes to the Carlton Football Club and whatnot. But how did Clayton Oliver's name become even a conversation?
Well, the rumours began mid-year that he was unhappy that they'd gone from being a top 8 side. They had a really bad year in 2019. And then it was resurfaced. They never quite got going, Melbourne Demons, this year. They were there or thereabouts, but you would say from a club that was top 8 playing finals football, they've kind of stagnated. So there was rumours at the time he was indecisive, but the rumours have really hit the ground since the best and fairest, finishing 5th, which for me is an aberration. I mean, how Clayton Oliver wasn't top 3 at Melbourne this year with his performances. He's had a good year, and that's where it stemmed from. And you would say, people say we need the Crips out. This guy is second only to Cripper in his contested numbers. He's always there or thereabouts with Cripper. So what's better to get Cripper a help, get Cripper a clone of him. So he fits the bill for Carlton, definitely.
He certainly does. I mean, if you allow yourself to just dive into this and, look for a reason why he would come to the club, putting on our dreamers hats, he really would be the ultimate combination. Like the Ollie Wines, Clayton Oliver type midfielder, which then allows Cripps to go forward, which a lot of us have been, screaming for. The nitty gritty about, does it make us too slow? I don't know. Maybe we could get into that a little later. But how could one get Clayton Oliver into the club?
Well, I think it'd be a combination of one. I think pick 7 would definitely be involved. You'd be looking at a starting point of 2 firsts without a doubt. I think pick 7, we've got to remember, we keep saying his name, Tanner Brown is around that 7. He's a Trent Cotchin clone. So that could be something that Melbourne look at. We know Brayshaw at Melbourne has plummeted since he's come off the ball, and they're trying to play him as a wingman. So him coming in would allow Brayshaw to go back on the ball. That could be something that Goodwin sees, because we know Brayshaw's numbers are elite, and Viney does the job very well as well in Clayton's absence. So there's a selling point there that they might look to cash in on him to get that outside run they desperately need. They desperately need a key forward. Pick 7 and a future first would give them the tools to go out and buy that, should they want to acquire it. So for me, it makes sense from a sales point of view for Melbourne. They've got a lot of holes, and they've got a lot of inside midfielders. They're kind of like, that is their core at the moment. So you could afford to jettison one. And if you got a good price for Clayton and he's unhappy, probably makes sense to cash in on him while you can. The guy is a superstar, though. Superstar. He's going to come at a price.
Absolutely. What's his contract status?
He's still in contract till the end of 2021. So this time next year, there'll be the discussions. And that's genuinely when teams look to trade stars the year before. If they've got an inkling he's not going to sign, good run football clubs don't do what Essendon have done with Sard and let it run down. They look to cash in on the value when they've still got that year of contract. So for me, if he is unhappy, this is probably the year that he would be looking to go. I mean, there's no getting away from it. This guy is a superstar, top player in stoppage clearances, which was an issue with Carlton last year, just the stoppages around the ground. We didn't quite translate that dominance we did in the centre. He's a stud, top 5 handballs, top 10 kicks. This guy's an absolute all-round master of what he does. And I'd imagine if you sat Patrick Cripps down for a beer and said, open checkbook, who do you want to help you? I'd imagine Clayton Oliver is the first name out of his head.
You're really convincing me that everything makes sense.
I mean, it does. I mean, obviously, you've got to sell it to Melbourne, but for me, Melbourne are a very well-run football club. They don't have a history of keeping players that don't want to be there. It is expected now Ben Brown is front and centre for Melbourne as well. So there's the key forward issue out of the way straight away. They've got the key forward they need. And it's, do they back Viney? Viney, I thought, was quite intriguing. A 5-year deal. That says that they're putting a lot of eggs into the Viney basket, which would say that they have got the backup to replace Clayton Oliver. We know Brayshaw's numbers were out of this world 2 years ago when he was played as an inside midfielder. So that would then give them the scope that they could maybe afford to lose Clayton for 2 firsts. Maybe throw in a Matt Kennedy, a steak knives. They've got the extra inside midfielder they want, and then they go out looking for that outside run. It can make a lot of sense. It's a big sell, but if Clayton wants to leave, I would imagine Carlton fit what he was unhappy about. We are in that Premiership window. We are getting better, and Clayton Oliver would be one of them players that would back himself to elevate them 3 places on the ladder to the top 8.
Yeah, for sure. Is this one of those situations where we've got to get our work? I mean, if we do decide to go to Geelong and split pick 7 and see if they'd be willing to make a move, is this one of those situations where we've got to get it done early, give ourselves some time, and not get caught out in the last few days of trade period?
It's something that it's one of them worrying trades for Carlton. I think this Saad one's already got my amber alert going. When we get dragged into a trade negotiation, we often miss out on players that come available because we're focused on that. Oliver is going to take a while to get done, I'd imagine, because there's going to be a lot of negotiations. So for me, yeah, it's something that we've got to be active on. And I'd say Nick Austin would have to be like, if I can pay the price, it gets done. Focus on this, because this could be something that drags out. These big players, Tim Kelly last year, they drag out, and whether that's the AFL making them drag out so it's good TV, I don't know. But these big ones do seem to always get done last day and take a lot of resources. So it's going to be a big negotiation, but this guy fits the bill to a T.
He sure does. The age profile, the want and the need for a star midfielder, he definitely ticks the boxes. What would you give this one out of 10 of actually happening?
Actually happening, I would say the rumours are getting hotter. There's no smoke without fire in the sporting world. I'd say a 5.56 out of 10.
That's very promising.
Well, it is if you compare it to Stephen Cornelio last year, which was an 11 out of 10. That kind of puts it in perspective, doesn't it?
You've gone the other way this year, so you're trying not to jinx it.
Try not to jinx it, but I mean, 23 years old, Clayton Oliver, him, Cripper, Walsh. You're talking that is a domination. That's probably the best midfield in the competition, bar none.
Yeah, I like it, mate. I like it. What about you guys at home? Bit of talk about Clayton Oliver, and it seems to be heating up. And every day that goes past without a confirmation from, his world that he's staying, gives people like Pom and myself and us Carlton fans the inclination that he might be coming across. So let us know what you think. Would Clayton Oliver be a solution to our midfield shortcomings? Let us know in the comments below.